Hello, I'm Bob Shipman, and this is my wife, Ann.
I am Ann Brumley Shipman.
I was assistant manager at the Fox Theatre back in the mid-50s. I first started out when I was in high school. I left school to go to San Jose, and I went to work for Fox West Coast Theaters back in San Jose. But when I was there, I got to thinking about my classmates would be graduating, and I knew I would come back and see them. But then I thought, if I come back and see them, then I'm going to wish I had done it. So I went to the general manager of Fox at that time and asked him that if I could transfer to Visalia, and they said it was okay. They were training me for management anyway. So I came back to Visalia, and here at the Fox Theater, I met Ann.
You could just tell him now the good part.
Well, the good part, that's a good story. One day, the manager and I were standing in
We've got the summer season coming up. This is really important. I need you to handle this for me.
You see that girl?
Yeah?
I'm gonna marry that girl.
So you're looking for a job here?
Yeah, do you have any positions open?
You'll probably have to speak to our manager.
Who's your guys' manager?
Robert Shipman, who's actually right here.
Hello,
Hi.
Robert Shipman.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
So I hired her, and she became our box office lady out there. And so that's how we actually got met.
I was hired to work in the box office and sell the tickets. And I would work sometime till pretty close to late in the evening, and then I'd have to go into the office and fill out my forms and everything. But it would be sometimes around 11 or 12 o'clock before I would get home. So I would walk home from here because I lived over on North Stevenson, and at 11 o'clock to midnight, it was a little scary to do that, especially since I didn't like to walk in the dark. But I had stopped by the hot dog stand that was just a block down from the Fox Theater, and I got my hot dog.
What are you doing out here at night?
I'm walking home.
You're walking home. How far do you live?
I'm just like down the block.
Just right down the. Well, jump in. I'll give you a ride.
No, it's okay. I just live down the street.
No, really, I insist. It's not safe out here.
It's fine. I'm just like down the block.
You're just down the block.
Yes.
What's gonna happen to my box office if something happens to you? I'm gonna give you a ride.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, I'm sure.
It's not that far.
But come on.
Okay. Okay.
Don't you feel a little safer?
Kind of.
So where do you live?
So that sort of started us along, and then after a while, we became more serious dating, and along about September or along about the end of the year, we started thinking about him having to go into the service. Instead of getting married right away, we were still young, and we thought him going to the service, if our love was strong enough, it would make it through the 3 years of the service.
I left and went to Korea, and after 2 years, I came back and was stationed up in Fort Ord. And we immediately then got back together, and then we ended up, instead of waiting until I got out of the service, we spent the last year of my service time married and starting a family. The Fox Theatre in those days was really a beautiful place, and it was like a castle, but it was a place where people really liked. They smiled and they had fun. And there's couches in the mezzanine, and they would sit out there and they would talk in there with their friends and meet other people. And some would even find their next dates, I suppose, out there. It was just a really good time. And people came knowing that they were going to have fun. It was just a place that people liked to come, and you could see when they walked through the door that they were happy, and you could see when they left they had smiles on their face. It was a time that the youth got together and they talked together and the adults talked together, and it was just a place that people liked to be. I look back, and it was a time in, I think, both our lives that was important, and this theater is a very, very important part of our whole life, because this is where our life started, and together. And so we still when people come into town, we still tell them the story about the Fox Theater.
It all started here at the Fox Theatre in 1956, and it's given us a very wonderful life together and a wonderful family.
Yeah.